What seemed like one of the worst kept secrets is finally official. We now know what new ride will be coming to Kings Island next season, or should I say, making its return. Let's discuss on this episode of Roller Coaster Rants. Welcome in, everyone, to this episode of Roller Coaster Rants. I'm Marcus, super glad that you're watching, and even more excited that we finally know the new ride coming to Kings Island for the 2026 season. And without waiting any longer, here it is. Maestro is back.
He's back.
That's right. Phantom Theater is making its return. This new iteration of Phantom Theater will be called Phantom Theater Opening Nightmare. Kings Island describes the new ride as a comedic and fast-paced family adventure that begins with a dark and stormy night, setting the tone for the grand and ghostly reopening of the haunted Phantom Theater. The ride will, of course, feature Maestro in addition to No Legs Larry, along with several other members of the original crew and some new faces too. Sally Dark Rides is spearheading the new design, which Kings Island says will have in total 26 interactive scenes that feature multi-sensory effects like wind and sound. Guests will travel in enchanted opera boxes and armed with interactive spellbound flashlights, and will travel through fully built dimensional scenes, including backstage areas, dressing rooms, and a fiery boiler room as they meet other performers who are ready to take the stage. And lastly, of course, an onstage musical finale featuring Maestro and the whole cast of crew members. The press release does say that the ride will be outfitted with modern technology to enhance the scenes and storytelling. Here's to hoping that the spellbound flashlights actually work, unlike the boo blasters in place right now. Speaking of which, this new ride is of course made possible by the closing of Boo Blasters on Boo Hill, which opened back in 2010. Before that, it was Scooby-Doo and the Haunted Castle, and then the original Phantom Theater ran from 1992 through 2002. All in all, this seems like an exciting update. Maybe not what some more of us thrill seekers would love to see, but Phantom Theater is no doubt a Kings Island fan favorite, especially with how well received the show Phantom Theater Encore was from a couple of years ago. I never had the chance to see the show, but I did get to ride Phantom Theater whenever I was a kid, and I remember really enjoying it. So I am excited to experience this new version. My main hope is that they do it right, and it's not just a simple reskin. But the wording used in the press release does give me some hope that the updated technology will make it a fun experience. At the cost of this announcement, I unfortunately do think that for a large section of the Kings Island fan base, this news will come as a bit of a letdown. And no doubt, Six Flags is truly to blame.
It's your fault.
Speculation for the new 2026 attraction really began last November, when the new Six Flags Entertainment Corporation dropped their announcement to invest more than $1 billion to enhance guest experience over the course of the next 2 years. Of course, that being 2025 and the 2026 season. And with that announcement came a list of capital investments planned for the 2026 operating season, which of course had Kings Island listed for a new family thrill attraction for this next season. Since that point, we've all kept our eyes on the usual suspects for what spot would play host to the new attraction, keeping an eye out for survey markers and whatnot, with a hope that when the list said family thrill, then that could mean a family thrill coaster, or something more thrilling than Snoopy's Soapbox Racers. More along the lines of a Big Bear Mountain down at Dollywood. Of course, that is being extremely optimistic. Clearly, that wasn't the case. And while I'm excited to see what comes of this new version of Phantom Theater, I can see why folks might be disappointed that it doesn't meet their definition of family thrill. In fact, all likelihood points that this wasn't even the plan to begin with when all of the announcements were made last year. This, instead, is likely just a cost-saving venture to fill the gap rather than spend the money on what was originally intended to be the new for 2026 attraction. But now the question is, if that is the case, does the family thrill ride get pushed to 2027, or was it scrapped altogether? Time will tell. Regardless, it's now been 5 years since Kings Island's last major coaster debuted, that being Orion in 2020. And that vortex plot of land sure is looking lonely.
I'm so lonely.
Or will it sit vacant a while longer if the rumors of Invertigo closing for good, along with some other rides in the front of the park, to make way for a new front of the park attraction? Let the rumor mill swirl. Regardless, it's exciting that Kings Island is still getting a new investment for the 2026 season. The same can't be said for some of the other Six Flags parks. With that, let us know what you think about the news. Are you excited for this new version of Phantom Theater, or were you left feeling a bit disappointed? How about a bit of both?
Bit of both.
And if you're curious where we rank all of the coasters at Kings Island, here's another video where my counterpart Ryan and I give all of those details and more. Which one comes out on top? Thanks for watching if you've made it this far. And before you go, please give us a subscription down below. We have a goal to hit 500 subscribers before the end of the year. Please help us achieve that goal. That's all for today's episode of Roller Coaster Rants. We'll catch you in the next one.